What's up, guys? So the original upload of this got fucked with and claimed by the music people from Borderlands 3 for the 34 seconds of music I had left on the tail end of the video. I wanted to just end it with the Borderlands 3 name drop and then like the love Gearbox, but you know, they claimed it, and that's fine. I'm sure that's not even anything to do with Gearbox. I'm sure it's the musical artist, fucking prima donna dumbass. And you know, they do it in this auto claim where it's just like, if there's any of it recognized, I think that should be limited to a certain extent, because I don't think 35 seconds at the end of a 30+ minute long video warrants that you deserve all the revenue I garner from that video, but whatever. Anyway, re-edited it, re-uploaded it. Hope you guys enjoy. I tried to remove the song through the YouTube editor, and it just made the audio at the end completely fucking wompy. Sounded like me and Chubbz were talking through styrofoam, and then it also, like, cut off what we were saying. I just said remove the song. I didn't mean, like, rip half of me and Chubbz audio off at the end. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. This is the re-upload. Fucking love you. Later. What's up, everybody? Jackson here today with my little brother Chubbz.
Hello, everyone.
And oh my fucking god, that Borderlands 3 trailer reveal. Holy shit. Just when I'm like going on my soapbox talking about how people are foolish to get excited for games, talking about how it doesn't pay, I'm like, Borderlands 3! Fuck yes!
This trailer is really good.
Yeah, that's why.
It's really good.
There's a few things about this, so I'm going to have a link below to two videos. That it's Arekks Gaming, I think, Arekks. Jeff sent me the links to those. I watched both of those. One's a breakdown of all of the Easter eggs in the Mask of Mayhem. It was the teaser that they did last night. Then today's Borderlands 2 reveal, 3 reveal. He's got all sorts of awesome things. A lot of it's conjecture and like he's just guessing, you know.
Right.
But let's talk about, first and foremost, the presentation of Borderlands 3 versus Battleborn. So if you go back and you watch the reveal trailer of Battleborn, that it seems pretty drab. It's boring. It's got that slow with your head on the ground and your head in the clouds. It's not that song, but it might as fucking well be, because that song was better. Yeah, and
it's even like all shot slow motion, like all the characters are like
trying to be way dramatic for a game that's clearly focused on being in a first-person MOBA.
Yeah.
Like, that is what the focus was with Battleborn. The story mode had wings, but they took the air out from under it somewhere during development, because what we got felt like a fucking tech demo you would show somebody to pitch them the game. I'm not even lying. I mean, the content in that game, day one, was crippled.
Oh, yeah.
It was crippled. And not only there, in the PvP, which felt to be the focus. And that's the thing. Battleborn was something outside of what Gearbox was comfortable with. Now, there's no problem with that. Look at Sekiro. I haven't played it, but from most accounts, critically acclaimed, most reviews I've been reading, my buddy Nito, Austin's loving it. So I'm seeing a lot of good, positive things about it. And from what I've heard, it's not completely. There are reminiscent things of Souls elements to it. But in fundamental ways, it's completely different outside of that sort of fucking situation. Even more so than like Bloodborne was from Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, which were the only From Software projects around
at the time. Yeah.
So like even there, like that took away a lot, but that has more Souls-esque things than even Sekiro, from what I understand. I don't know, I haven't played it yet. But it's not a bad thing for Gearbox to step out of their comfort zone. And I think if more time had been given to Battleborn and more care and love and perhaps money and development, resources, I feel like Battleborn could have blown people's minds if it would have launched a year or two after Overwatch had come out. And it had come out with a free-to-play MOBA,
the free-to-play MOBA online.
Then with a story that was flushed out that they sold for $60. So they could have made it, you can play the MOBA for free. It's got microtransactions. It's got skins you can buy.
Right.
All that shit. But then we also have a story mode which has its own skins to be earned throughout, its own gear to be earned throughout, and separated those two modes. It would have been better and had more attention on both of them. Because like we were talking about before we started recording, you were saying obviously the attention was on the PvP, but even it suffered.
Oh yeah. Because, I mean, you could tell the obvious focus was with the PvP, because playing throughout the story, not once do you feel like it's a cohesive single-player or even multiplayer story.
Multiplayer, no.
And this is against AI and bots.
In the most bare bones of ways. It was more shallow than Destiny 2's narrative.
Yes.
It had less depth than Destiny 2's narrative, and Destiny 2 was like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon built to sell action figures.
And I would say that Battleborn was even more like a Saturday morning cartoon, where every mission had its own story and didn't really interconnect or like cohesively follow together.
It also had, and I'm not sure how many it had upon release. I know they added Kid Ultra, Pendles, and who else did they add?
They added, I think, 4.
It was the chick, Alani,
yeah, and then there was Beatrix.
Oh yeah, Beatrix was too. Yeah, that's right.
So I think there's
four or five that were later, but the ones that it shipped with were great. It wasn't like that was fun.
Right, the characters,
playing the characters through those missions that were not good was the fun part.
Yes, that shit was like the strengths, and I think the online had that spades, because it was you versus them, and they had the same character progression that you had, and there were multiple different ways that everybody could play each character. And so that's where I think the strengths was. I feel like the PvP was really fun, but it needed a lot more focus.
It had a lot of balancing problems. It had map.
Goddamn right. And it was
there was that shit where you could pick marquee and just snipe over the fucking thing where you couldn't get hit.
In certain maps.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And so like there's definitely like if you played that game from day one to the winter update, if you've played that game past winter update, you might have asked yourself, man, a lot of criticism was unfounded, because a lot of the problems were fixed. And not only in the winter update, some of those missions that were unplayable were fixed and put into this situation where they fixed them and made them balanced and better and made it possible to complete.
In some cases, running the difficulty on, I don't even think there was a difficulty mode.
There was,
but it was normal difficulty, you know. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
And some of these missions, it was literally the thing that you were guarding didn't have as much health that the enemies were doing damage to.
Yeah,
and so they had to like balance it by raising the health of the capture point and lowering the damage. And
here's the overall problem also with Battleborn when it launched is, when you're a company like Gearbox that has games like Borderlands and Borderlands 2 under your belt. I'll say Borderlands the pre-sequel, but let's just call that an add-on to Borderlands 2. I'm not saying it's bad or not worth playing or anything like that. I'm just saying it's kind of just like flipped assets from Borderlands 2 by a different development team. So I don't really feel like that is applicable when we're doing a comparison to Battleborn. Anyway, so with Borderlands 1 and 2, this reward system that sees you getting skill points, sees you getting your ultimate ability and being able to tweak that in ways, not just only within the skill tree, but also through gear. It gives you, you know, like, and then your guns, and then all of these things that you're constantly getting. You constantly feel rewarded throughout the whole experience with this narrative that is told, whether you want to say it's bad or not. I mean, I enjoyed the story in Borderlands and Borderlands 2. Yeah. I like Gearbox's
whether you like
cheesy fucking goofiness. I'm able to let myself go and actually laugh at that shit. Some people are like, it's cringe. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Regardless
different strokes.
Regardless if you like it or not, you cannot argue that it isn't a story that is cohesive with a start, middle, and end, with character building through villains and
whether
heroes.
You like it or not, whether it's you know, good or not in your opinion, you can't say that it doesn't have a structured
story that cohesively clings together and follows.
And not only that, adds, and that's the thing about story, is also we're talking about setting, place, and time. And so like when you're in, like, you're going to meet Brick and you're going through the junkyard and that whole setting, you know where you're going, you know what it is, and that when you see it visually, you can tell that they gave a shit. That it wasn't just a conceptual artist that was like, I drew this, and then, or maybe that was how it was. Either way, at some point, those became connected. So it's not a distracted story from the environment. The environment is also telling a story as you move your way through it. In this junkyard with the enemy types that are there and explained why they're there. And this is all sorts of things that you get out of a Borderlands experience. Whether you enjoy the, you know, pop references and, you know, cheeky jokes, it doesn't matter. Whether or not that's the case, it does that very well, exceptionally well. And it does rewards exceptionally well. You always feel like you're getting a new gun that fires a different way. That's like, it could be bad, it could be good. You know, you might use it just as a novelty. You know what I mean? Like the ones where you shoot once and you can reload and it actually throws the fucking gun and the gun is a grenade that goes off.
Yeah.
Like those sort of things are above scrutiny, in my opinion. When you're talking about a looter shooter game, well, then you're talking about the OG, the one who invented the genre, and that is Gearbox and Borderlands. Period.
Yep.
Period. They're the ones who brought first-person shooting looting into what you see it is as
with
today.
Like a Diablo-like grind with the gear.
Yep. Everything.
As well as like a kind of like a talent tree system that you would see in an MMO,
and I don't know for sure.
Scaled down.
I don't know for sure if there was one before it, but Borderlands was the one
that was the first
that
one that
blew up.
Yeah, that was
the first one that blew up.
That's the first one that I heard about. And another thing about it is, like you said, this is a looter shooter. You know what I mean? But it stands apart from all the other looter shooters because, you know, other looter shooters are having a hard time balancing the guns or making things not as overpowered because they got to figure out the PvP in mind.
Or they're incompetent, it's like BioWare.
Yeah, it's like Diablo 3. If I get a weapon, I want it to mean something, you dumb fuck. I want it to, like, do something cool and complement my build and not just have me do the same shit over and over again. I want it to complement every facet of my build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Borderlands does that in spades. They do that.
Oh yeah, over and over
well.
again. It's not just a number. Sometimes you don't even care if something does a higher damage because the gun, the way it works, is crap for your playstyle.
Oh yeah.
So you'd much rather take one that's 5,000 damage less because that one fits your playstyle, what your character is doing.
Oh yeah.
And then that's not to mention skills. Fucking abilities,
you have a skill progression,
RPG fucking things that aren't cookie cut, that aren't fucking, you know, that leave the room for the player to fuck around and find a cool build that feels like their own.
Oh yeah.
Right? This isn't Destiny where you pick one of 3. This isn't fucking Anthem where you pick one of 4. This isn't fucking these crap where it's like, this is the one you get and this is the way it is. I mean, yeah, you pick one of 4, but within that one, there's 3. And then within that 3, there's also a little bit more because when you play Beyond and you play through the DLCs and shit, you get more and more and more. And there's this way that you can fuck around with your character to how you want to play them. Exactly. So yeah, it's Axton, but it's my fucking Axton. You know what I mean? It's Krieg, but it's my fucking Krieg.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's what you...
And not only just... There's like 3 different ways of progression, like through the gear, through the leveling, like you just said, and then on top of that, you have, in the second one, the badass ranks, or in the first one, it was like passives that you would get just by using the weapon type.
It was almost Elder Scrolls-y in a way, where you leveled up as you used the weapon.
But they've always had that, like, multiple different progression systems. Yeah. So you're not ever feeling like you're not doing anything.
Like in Destiny or Anthem or any of these other games, where at the end of the day, all you're farming is a number.
Yeah, it's tied to loot and numbers.
That's it, right? Like, it's not like a number on a weapon. We're talking a global number. It's a power level. It's a this level. It's a light level. It's like this is bare bones fake bullshit when you get. And so listen though, here's the problem tying all of this Borderlands talk back to Battleborn is with Battleborn, you didn't feel rewarded.
No.
The things that they were making you earn, you felt like you should just have because you spent $60 fucking on the game. So like when I looked into it and we started to, and we had to play those missions, and it was at the end of the day when you're done being caught up, because there was fun there. I had a lot of fun. I'll defend my purchase of Battleborn from here until I die because it was for sure fucking worth it to me. That doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to fucking call them out on the many bad moves that they made. They fucking put characters on the roster behind unlocks. that are account-driven XP, and they dribbled XP to you, they dribbled currency to you, they dribbled loot to you.
Almost like a free-to-play MOBA. Yes.
Not almost, exactly.
It was exactly, if worse.
It was exactly at the rate of a free-to-play MOBA until the Platinum came out. Then it was worse. Because in fucking free-to-play games, like fucking, oh my god, what was they let it go. It's sad. They let it die. But Paragon.
Yeah.
Paragon, I had like 5 or 6 premium skins in that game. And I think I had only spent like 10 or something on a starter pack, like when I first had gotten it, because I really liked it. Maybe it was 15 or something. It just gave you a bunch of like, I think it was like at the time, it was way different back then.
Right.
But anyway, that game, I had tons of skins in that, and it was just from playing. I played Battleborn 100% way more than I played Paragon. I spent months and months playing Battleborn PvP, playing Battleborn PvE. I'm 1 trophy short of the Platinum, and that's the Toby triple kill, and that trophy can go fuck itself in its hairy, hairless fucking, fuck you, you fucking penguin.
Fucking goddamn Toby.
That's the dumbest fucking, anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. But in this game that you had spent $60 on, with a pedigree like the Borderlands series, you got this product that was obviously built with this live, like just it, you know what? I don't even know if it's live service so much as it was them with an inferior product trying to stretch out gameplay. The story was too short to justify a $60 price.
It was it was half-baked.
Yeah, so what do? You take the roster and you cut the roster down and you make people replay the story missions. You make people grind up a level in PvP. They later completely reversed that decision, right? They later reversed the decision so that when you buy Battleborn, you have access to all the characters.
All the characters are unlocked.
So that's an admittance. And this is like I don't even know if it was a week or what before Battleborn, or Overwatch came out, but Overwatch was coming. And on Battleborn's launch day, like, they did a free Overwatch weekend.
Yeah.
Just to fucking get them, dude. That's brilliant marketing, right? Or business right there. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the time, you're Blizzard with Overwatch, and Battleborn is Battleborn.
And your product
is
focused on
this
the
is
PvP.
This is a beta test,
yeah.
You know, with this catchy beta test phrase. But this is the release. And the beta test is balanced better and fucking runs better and like
has more focus and polish. Doesn't take
like 30 minutes to get into a fucking match.
Yeah,
like it was taking 30 minutes to get into a match. Whether their matchmaking was fuck day one
in the technical tests that they had.
No, in the release.
Oh, in the release. Oh yeah,
it was even release day. No one was playing.
They had problems with it for days.
Online. We were playing 2-player online. The story, me and you.
Mm-hmm.
So. That's the thing about that. When you get into it, Battleborn was a takeaway from their usual formula, but in all of the bad ways. It's not like they'd made a different combat system with more aggressive enemies and different gameplay mechanics like Sekiro. No. It's like they dipped their hand into the free-to-play market, sold it for $60, and made it worse than
than a free-to-play game.
Yeah, worse than a free-to-play game. And they did it to the fucking those of us that were believing in them.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm pumped about Borderlands 3. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this trailer has me all sorts of pumped up. I'm excited as fuck. You know why? Because when I watch this trailer reveal next to the Borderlands trailer reveal, there is Gearbox's personality in spades in this trailer. Just like it was almost as if Randy Pitchford went to the people who are responsible for this trailer. Whoever you are, if you listen to this, fucking hats off. Hats off, dude. This is how you do a fucking game trailer.
Oh, yeah.
For an existing series. This is how you get people pumped up and excited. Right? Because what I just said about Battleborn, all the hard feelings there, I'm fucking excited about Borderlands 3, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because of this trailer.
This trailer, oh, yeah.
It's as if he went to them and he said, you know what, I want you to sum up the Borderlands series and Gearbox as a company in this fucking trailer. The song, like, You Can't Keep Me Down, like, this is like, you know, they've been beat. And rightfully so, in my opinion. I've done a lot of beating to Gearbox. about Battleborn. The fucking decisions behind that game make zero fucking sense. Zero. On a fundamental level, you made poor fucking decisions with that game. Objectively, provable, poor decisions that I have repeatedly proved, and you yourself admitted to when you reversed almost all of them. Through updating the map, fixing the PvP, balancing out the characters, so much work went into the post-release of this game that you may as well have called it early access and just sold it to me for $30 and been like fucking Paragon. Or someone like that, or Fortnite, someone like that who did it the right way.
Who's doing like, it is a free-to-play game with free-to-play mechanics, but guess what? It's free!
But for
Go figure!
But for now, it costs $40 to get in the door.
Right, early access.
Yeah.
If you want to pay for it now, like, we're not
You
gonna
don't
lock
piss
any,
off your
and
fans.
oftentimes, the early access people get hooked up. You know what I mean? Later down the road, when the game is released, they're the ones that are getting hooked up with free content and free stuff after the release.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they are handing over cash for something that they are going to release for free. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so that's the thing. Even though all of that, this video with the song in it, with that, it's just got that fucking funk. That Gearbox, just that grimy funk, dude. I can't explain it any fucking better than that.
Folk funk, but it's got like
just
synth to it,
and there's dubstep. You got a DJ working with it. It's fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful song to complement Gearbox Borderlands personality with this trailer that shows us the villain, shows us the next Vault Hunters, gives us a little like hint Easter egg to what they do. To the, like all of these things.
Shows a bunch of variety of gameplay of every character.
And I'm going to have those videos linked below. Go watch those by Arekks Gaming. Great job on those, man. I text Jeff after he sent me those. I was like, man, I bet you that fucking kid has mastered every Where's Waldo book ever invented. Because this dude, frame by frame, is pointing out shit that I would have never in a million years saw. Unless we went frame by frame. But then, not just go frame by frame. Frame analyze
frame
by
pause.
Frame, yeah,
frame pause,
like not just pause, like analyze this shit. And so, but that great videos. So this trailer, our opinion on it, I'm gonna sum up mine real quick. Borderlands is an excellent game series. I would recommend those to anyone looking to be getting into any sort of this RPG first-person shooter loot blend. They're the first ones that did it. They're the only ones, in my opinion, for a long time that got the recipe right. Sure, Destiny is better in many ways than Borderlands, but none of the fucking ways that matter, that truly matter to the core, is Destiny better than Borderlands. In every bit that matters, via storytelling, via environmental storytelling, via presentation of bosses, presentation of the loot and progression system, and the way that it feels you're constantly being rewarded hour by hour of gameplay. Fuck you, Destiny. Borderlands did it first, and they did it right. And that's what's got me excited, is because this trailer oozes Borderlands 3 or Borderlands Gearbox. It just oozes that fucking, and that you can't keep me down. Like, they're coming out with their fucking dick swinging.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. You
like
can tell that from this trailer.
They're advancing their own formula.
Yeah, they ain't fucking around,
dude. Multiple different planets, multiple different locations, which means the map is probably going to be much bigger when you consider a Borderlands game where you're just on one planet, or in the case of the pre-sequel, the moon. Right, and you have a bunch of open world maps that are connected to each other, but it doesn't feel like you have free roam of the entire planet.
Yeah.
This, it even looks like you're going to jump to other planets, go to other worlds.
Well, it says save the worlds.
Worlds.
With an S.
Right.
Worlds.
Yes. And some of the environments look completely different. It goes from city to like desert, redneck, backcountry, like we know from Borderlands 2. It shows like
the swamp in that fucking city, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, that fucking city looks so sick, dude. Mm-hmm. Just like, you could tell that it's not not, it's just, ooh.
They're trying to advance it, and they're trying to step their game up and go forward with it. That's what gets me excited about it.
The only problems that would keep me from buying this day one, I'm just going to lay them out there for you. And some of these, like the first one, probably not, would keep me from buying it, but it would piss me off and it'd be something I complained about. Online all the time. No being disconnected from their servers. If it's a Borderlands game that I have to be online all the time, like Battleborn, and I have to have an active subscription to PlayStation Plus to play the game, period. Because that's fine if you want to do that, since everyone fucking else does that, because everyone else is fucking assholes, and Sony makes them do it, and so does Xbox. If you want to be like that, that's fine. But I want to be able to play offline solo without a Plus membership.
If you don't have your internet connection, you don't want to be like, God damn it, I can't play it.
Don't sell us a menu screen like you did with Battleborn.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't sell a $60 menu screen, Gearbox. That's the first thing that would really, I think, hurt you in this and drive a lot of people away. 2, like, really, I just don't want it to feel like a live service game. I don't want it to feel underwhelming on release and feel as if
there should be more.
Well, like if they decide to just say like this minimum viable content or whatever the fucking catchphrase is that these companies are throwing around, if they want to try to use that excuse and deliver like a 12-hour experience with just like heavy grinding mechanics and lots of loot thrown at me so it makes it feel like it's worth it, but in actuality it's like just a fucking section of a true Borderlands game. If it feels like that, and then you see these updates with new areas coming for free and all these promises of free content with day one monetization that goes beyond a season pass or beyond a day one asking price and starts dipping into microtransactions, anything like that. I mean, I don't care if you give me a game like Borderlands 2 size and you sell skins. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
You can do that. I don't care.
Like they did in Borderlands 2. They sold
I have
skins
no problem
as
with that.
well as other characters.
You give me a game with as much content as I know you can fucking give me. Not this Battleborn bullshit. But you give me real fucking content. You can sell whatever the fuck you want past the $60 asking price. That's what I don't think any of these companies get. It's not about people being pissed that you need to monetize the game past the sell. It's not that. We understand that. We understand that that's a necessity. But thanks to the examples of several very good companies that have not only extended the life of their game through meaningful DLC that is fairly priced, but is also, as a cause of that, grown into a fucking phenomenon and tripled in size. Right? So if you're gonna, like, that's the thing. You don't get to say that you have to deliver shit in order to make money. Because it's a lie. And everyone knows it's a lie. And it proves your laziness and it proves your incompetence. So don't do that, Gearbox. Don't do another Battleborn. I will be watching. I will be waiting. And I will do my research and watch several reviews before I decide whether or not I'm going to pick this up. Because at this current point in time, with Battleborn, I cannot trust you with a pre-order. I cannot trust you with a fucking even day one buying without any knowledge of the game. You are a review company now. Like, I'm watching GG Man review you. I'm watching Angry Joe review you. I'm watching people review you before I buy you. People that I trust, people who share similar tastes through watching their videos. Like, that's who I'm waiting on. And you only have yourselves to blame for that.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
Yep.
They damaged a lot of goodwill with all that shit. And even with how excited I am, and I could feel the hype. And I don't say that word much.
I don't either. I can feel the hype too. Because this feels like they know.
Yeah.
This feels like they know they fucked up. But they're like, look, no.
Yeah. And I hate...
We're coming out. We got some shit coming.
And when I get hyped up, the only thing I want to do is stuff that shit down.
Because I've watched this trailer like 9 times today.
I know. But I will stuff that shit down.
I can't stop watching this fucking trailer, man.
I will stuff that shit down because I know it's coming.
I embrace it because it's nice
coming.
I'll embrace it because it's nice to feel happy about something, but at the same time, it's always tempered with cynicism. I mean, I can't help it. I'm fucked up. Like,
right.
We have, as a person who lives life, you meet fucked up people and you have people fuck you over only to a certain amount of time where you become a cynical, pessimistic motherfucker. And there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that comes in wrong with that is when you always go to that space and you don't allow yourself a little joy every now and then. And that's why it's important to, like, you know, take it at face value, feel this hype, feel this awesomeness, but it's also all right not to throw money at a pre-order because there's no reason to. The game is not finished yet.
Right.
There's no reason to throw your money at a pre-order yet. Instead, buy the Borderlands 1 HD collection or buy another copy of Borderlands 2 for a new system that you're playing on and play it with a friend, you know, split screen. Some of the funnest shit ever, dude, playing split screen Borderlands 2 with Chris. Playing with you, split screen, and Chris when he got his PS3. Just hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Borderlands. So fun. Outside of like Diablo, I'd say it's the one that I've played the most of that action RPG loot shoot. Like, I mean, looter. But this one's like, God, it's Borderlands. It's incomparable.
Exactly.
It's peerless.
Right.
Still. BioWare and Anthem threw God knows how much money at making something like this. And Borderlands 2 that came out how many years ago remains peerless.
Yes.
And in this industry.
And that's why I oftentimes don't let myself get hyped up, because what happens to me when I hype myself up is I become like a junkie and I start reading way too much into this shit.
You know
and
what
then
else?
It drops and then I get it, and then all of my hype that I thought it was going to be ends up flipping a fucking 180 on me during the actual experience. So for me,
that's why you don't play it. You just wait.
Yeah, that's why I don't really hype myself up. I wait for reviews.
Well, yeah.
And like in a game like Red Dead 2 where I...
But don't tell me you didn't get chills, dude, at the end of that trailer, dude. Fucking claptrap doing fucking breakdancing, dodging missiles, and you can't bring me down. I am truly hyped because I feel like with all of the messages in this fucking video, visually, all of the Easter eggs and things hidden throughout, with that song, I think they're saying, we know, we're coming back.
Right.
You can't bring us down. We're bringing this back up.
Still.
And I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping that they're dedicated to making Borderlands 3 better than Borderlands 2. Because Borderlands 2 was better than Borderlands 1. And that's the obvious evolution of life and things as we know it. And we see a stunting in companies because money gums up the fucking works. Alright, everybody, fucking love you.
That's it for us.
Till next time, stay safe, keep being awesome, and as always, keep vault hunting, motherfuckers.